We are on our way out towards USI and Posey County. The rain has really picked up here. Let me show that to you. You can see our wipers are really going. There are a decent amount of cars out here right now, and you just need to make sure that you're staying safe, and if you are at home, you are taking shelter. Visibility is pretty low out here. I'll go up to our roof cam now so you can take a little bit of a look. You cannot see very far ahead of you. Of course, we're heading on that hill right now near Chick-fil-A and Rosenberger Avenue. So we are going to keep heading west towards Posey County, where Jeff is saying that it is the worst right now, and we will get back to you, and we'll send it back to you right now, Jeff, Arden, and Caroline.
Okay, and Jordan, if you're still on, you need to stop. Stop at USI and wait till this thing moves. It's going to move straight in front of you. You don't want to drive right into that wind at all. That's going to put you at risk. So stop wherever you are and wait till it moves to the north. You can get a picture of it there if you stop at Red Bank or at Bainey Camp Road where you can see the sky, but you need to stop and not drive into that. The ideal location for the interceptor would be south of severe weather. I think we all agree on that, weather team. Yeah, stop. So interceptors, stop wherever you are. Point your camera west, but be in a spot where you can take shelter. Okay, and here's why. You can see they're on 62 here, the Lloyd Expressway, and our winds now showing up. This is at would be at about well, that's about Bainey Camp Road. So you need to be stopping right now. Do not drive any further in the interceptor. And if you're on the road right now, you need to be in shelter as well. Arden's going to look, and that's an interesting picture you got going there, Arden. We're going to talk to her in a second. She's looking for debris, perhaps, being kicked up by the wind. And we're going to go over to her right now in the Weather Center. What do you see?
That's right, Jeff. I was just checking that that particular tool in our radar to see if we could get any idea of whether or not there was any debris being picked up by this storm. I've also been keeping an eye on our sky cams. This is our sky cam located at USI. Several times just in the past minute or so, I've seen this camera rather violently shake as those winds are picking up. But another thing I want to point out is the same issue that Jordan mentioned, and that is this is our view from our 14 News Studio tower camera. You cannot see very far because of how heavy that rain is. So if there is a tornado within this storm system, it will likely be rain wrapped and you are not going to be able to see it. So rather than trying to go out on your porch or something and get a view of that, don't do that. Just move into your safe space right now. Take our word for it. This storm already has a history of producing damage, and I certainly don't want anybody caught up in that today. So just move to your safe space. Again, there is a lot of heavy rain along with this storm as well, so it is hard to get a very clear picture, but we're seeing just from the cameras shaking just how strong that wind is starting to pick up now, Jeff.
Okay, thanks, Arden. And I've got a request. Byron's still with us. He's our storm chaser, storm spotter, trained in that. Byron, if you'll go over with Caroline, we'll get a weather camera picture in on the west side if we can do that. I know you don't have a mic on, but at least you can look at the pictures and kind of analyze what you're seeing over there. And for the control room, if we can, I know I'm asking for a lot here, but we want to get the best pictures we can. We need the weather camera here at the station pointed west. And then Arden or Byron and Caroline can look at that picture over there and analyze what they're seeing. Byron just told, and there it is right there. It's the same, the west camera, the one at USI. If you'll put that up over on the BAM, and then they can check that out and explain what's going on over there. And while we're getting that set up, I just want to reiterate that the damaging wind threat now has moved to the north here of Upper Mount Vernon Road on the west side, and we're showing some spot areas there of winds of about 50 to 60. I can hear the wind now coming over the station here, but we're just kind of on the outer edge of where that is coming through right now. So as soon as we get set up over here, we're going to have Byron and Caroline doing a little analysis. And in the meantime, if you are watching us here, certainly Western Vanderburgh, Western Henderson County, you need to be in shelter right now, and you need to stay put. We have a new, or actually this is a redefined tornado warning now for Posey County. And as you look here, and then this is what we're going to look at with Byron and Caroline over there at the wall. You can see these areas of wind. They're kind of streaky because the base winds are blowing so strong. They're literally just kind of stretching everything out. And you can see all of that happening here. I'm going to throw it over. We've got Byron and Caroline here kind of flying by the seat of our pants. Byron, what are we looking at out there? This is the USI cam, right?
Well, as you mentioned, you need to get to your tornado safe shelter anywhere in Evansville and Vanderbilt County. But as we look out towards USI, I've oriented that out towards the south and west. And that's feeding the main storm tower. And you're also getting a little light there as well. We can hear the winds here hovering over the station. So you're getting some evidence here of those circulating winds that Jeff just illustrated there, but that all feeds into the main updraft where it turns into these big cumulonimbus clouds out there that you see across. So you're seeing this here in real time, and then of course Jeff and Arden are matching up what we have on the radar. So definitely get to your tornado safe shelter.
Okay, thanks for that. Byron, we're going to turn that camera a little bit. We're going to turn that camera to the north. I wanted your input again because we also have a very strong signature coming up here on the radar in Vanderbilt County, and I'm going to show you where that is right now. It's crossing Diamond Avenue out here, and you can see it pretty plainly here. I want to get the information on that. So this would be between University Parkway and about Moto Park. So we're out just to the north of Diamond Avenue here and showing some pretty intense winds. And we can bring that camera around there and get the best view on that. But if you're out here now in the northern part of Vanderbilt County, so that would be out by Cynthia Heights School, for example, St. Joe's in the county school, those areas are where this is moving right now, and we're showing those winds perhaps at 65, 75 miles an hour. Hard to say exactly what's happening on the ground. We do have a confirmed tornado. That's why you're seeing that purple in there. And so we are going to continue to search for that right now. You see the warning has gone purple on us, meaning that that is actually has been observed by a spotter out here. We'll go ahead and move that over there to the purple one if it will pick up, and we'll have to do it this way. But we are definitely in a situation here where in Vanderbilt County we possibly have right, and that means we have an observed tornado now moving through Vanderbilt County. So Byron, if you will go back over with Caroline there and do our analysis, and what I want to do is use the that would be probably the USI camera pointed almost due north right now. Yeah,
it's pointed out to the southwest, but it's going to be, you know this, Jeff, it's going to be very difficult to see, but it's rain wrapped. But we saw all the ingredients there, a well-developed updraft, see some of the outflow of the rain. You can just hear the wind here at the station. So you don't see these purple polygons very often. That means a tornado has been observed. Get to your shelter, be in a safe place. Not safe to be on the roadways. Jeff?
We have Arden here looking at National Weather Service chat. We got to find out where that came from, the report of it anyway. And as we continue to look at our map here right now, so we have an observed or confirmed tornado here in Vanderbilt County. It is now, though, out north. It's right in here, I suspect. And if we zoom in tighter on that, I'll give you some streets and landmarks there so you can know exactly where we are. So this is Bloomville New Harmony Road, right to the north, and then you have St. Joe Avenue. So this would be up by Hornville Tavern there to the north, and our strongest winds are just off to the southwest right now, and we are still showing a pretty intense signature there. So this is going to be crossing, that's 115 mile-an-hour winds, very close in on the radar. Arden Gregory does have that new information now. Let's go to Arden in the Weather Center.
Yeah, I'm now reading the report that triggered that, where they're now calling this an observed tornado, and it looks like it came from out around German Township, just west of Evansville. So that's where the tornado was spotted by a spotter. It says here, and so that's where it was located. It was at 12:37 is when this report came in that there was a confirmed tornado reported around German Township. So that's west of Evansville, but that's where that report came from, Jeff.
Okay, and that would be near St. Joe in the county, Cynthiana Road, St. Wendell Road. If you're in St. Wendell now, you need to be buttoned down. This is a confirmed, it's a real thing moving in from the southwest, and we're going to do a quick storm track on this. But yeah, that's the strongest signature that I have seen all day, and now we've got a bigger tornado warning going all the way up into Gibson County. This is the signature that we're concerned with there over the northern edge or northern portion of Vanderburgh County. So it would be at about Boonville New Harmony Road and about Cynthiana Road, in that general area. If you know northern Vanderburgh County, you would have Armstrong here, St. Wendell a little bit to the west. So it's between St. Wendell and Darmstadt, moving to the north at about 70 miles an hour, which means you don't have much time at all. It was moving so fast here. That's more than a mile a minute. That means it'll be up to the Gibson County line there, just shy of St. James, and in about 5 minutes. So please, in shelter now. We've got some more schools up that way as well. Arden Gregory has some new information for us now. Arden.
I just want to read you some of the notes that came off of this warning from the National Weather Service. So it indicates here, tornado producing storms located along this line from near Blairsville to Melody Hill, moving northeast at 65 miles an hour. So all that tracks with what Jeff has been telling you so far. However, it also indicates a confirmed tornado southwest of Darmstadt, but other tornadoes are possible within this storm, they said, as well as extensive straight line wind damage of about 80 miles an hour. So in addition to the tornado we've been tracking, the National Weather Service has also put a note in for this newest warning that just came in that additional tornadoes may be possible, as well as straight line winds of 80 miles an hour, Jeff. So wind damage certainly a concern as these storms move through.
Okay, and Arden, as I've been watching the radar where you were talking, look at how much more this area here of intense winds has increased. Remember, this is close to the radar, so we're getting a sample pretty close to the ground, less than 500 feet up, and that will continue to move up the Cynthiana Road here toward Nisbet, and then to the Gibson County line. I want to go back out to the home view here. Sometimes we get into the weeds a little bit. An observed tornado. So that's the purple that you're seeing on the screen, and the cross-hatching going here to the east is also indicating extreme wind, so 70 miles an hour or higher with these storms right now. We've got Caroline Clapp monitoring power outages. I'm sure they're multiplying right now. Caroline, what do you have?
Yeah, Jeff, these numbers, and from CenterPoint Energy, right now over 3,000 customers in our area do not have power. I want to take you back as well. Again, this is CenterPoint Energy for the Evansville area, but those numbers in Western Kentucky are still very high. So the purple here means that there are the most power outages. So you're seeing those around the Henderson area. Again, in this Western Kentucky, there are about 6,000 customers without power over several counties here. So certainly a lot of outages, Jeff, and those numbers are skyrocketing.
Okay, thanks, Caroline, for the update. Let's give some all clears here very quickly. Western Kentucky, Union County, Webster, Western Henderson County, you're in the clear. Henderson proper, Evansville, the west side, now in the clear as well, as these storms have raced to the north. So if you're on the west side of Evansville, south of Diamond Avenue, you are now safe as things have started to move on up into the northern part of the county. But we also have, as you see here on the screen, we have these purple warnings indicating that a tornado has actually been observed and is moving to the north here toward the radar. And when I was showing you this a moment ago, and we're going to do it again, we're seeing some pretty intense returns right there to the north of Vanderburgh. Oh, wait, we have something now. Let's go back to Caroline Clapp over at the weather wall there. What do you have?
Gordon Yaney is out in the 14 First Alert Interceptor. He has moved to the other side of this storm, so let's check in with him now.
Yeah, Caroline, we are south of the storm right now. We're on Hogue Road, just northwest of Red Bank Road, and I want to show you what's in front of us. We've got a tree that has come down onto a power line here on Hogue Road. We're going to move in a little bit closer so you can see that real quickly, and then we'll send it back to you. But this is a pretty sizable tree that has come down onto a power line. I hope you guys are seeing this. That's just a result of those high winds, Caroline.
Yeah, Jordan, thank you. Let's toss back to Jeff.
Okay, thanks, Caroline. And as we go back here to the radar now. Again, we have given the all clear for Evansville, but as we move north, especially north of Diamond Avenue, we still have intense winds county line now into Fort Branch, Hobsod, and possibly Warrenton over here. Elberfeld would be some other spots there where we could see damaging wind gusts. As Jordan just showed you from the interceptor, we've got trees down. I mean, we are not too surprised by that. We also want to quickly mention where we have those strongest winds, and they are right now in the northern edge of Vanderburgh County, basically between St. Joe Avenue and Highway 41. And we will try to get, there we go. And let me get to the numbers here, and then we're going to go back to Caroline. She's got some pictures from the schools. The wind still showing at 60 to 70 right in here along Highway 41 as you come up to the to North High School, and eventually this is going to drift up into Gibson County with those strong winds there moving up pretty quickly as well. So anybody in southern Gibson County, northern Vanderburgh County, north of Boonville Harmony Road, you need to be in shelter now. Caroline Clapp is showing us what's going on in the schools right now too. Big concern. A lot of parents are worried right now. Your kids are safe at school.
Yeah, Jeff, and this photo shows students are doing the proper precautions as they need to be doing. But I want to remind you, again, this is students taking shelter here in a tornado drill. If you are sending in your photos and videos, please make sure to tell us where the photo or video was taken. I'm not sure, but Darius sent us in 12 minutes ago of students in a tornado drill. Back to you, Jeff.
Okay, thanks, Caroline. I'm getting information here on my phone as well. Arden Gregory has some very useful info for you now. If you're in southern Gibson County, northern Vanderburgh, or Warwick County here around Elberfeld, where we see those 60 to 70 mile an hour winds moving in. Arden, go ahead.
Yeah, just a reminder to everyone when we're saying you need to take shelter, move into your safe place. What does that look like? You want to put as many walls between you and the outside as you can. So move inside, away from windows, into an interior room, and move into a basement if you can. That's the best place to be, but if you don't have a basement, just get to the lowest level of the building that you're in and move inside, away from windows. This storm does have a history of producing damage. As we said before, this is now a confirmed tornado, where a tornado was spotted with this storm system. Certainly a situation to take very seriously, but as this line of storms is moving through, we're now also starting to get more damage reports from other parts of the tri-state. Just a few of them that we've received so far. We did have one report of a tree on a vehicle in Henderson County on Highway 351, as well as some possible roof damage along 351 in the Zion area of Henderson County. So we are seeing more and more reports of roof damage and trees down and power lines down and things of that nature as this storm has moved through. So again, that's what it's left in the wake of the storm in portions of Union and Henderson counties now. And so obviously a serious situation to take as it moves to the northeast for those folks still in the path. Jeff?
All right, thanks, Arden. And again, our warnings shake out like this. We can give the all clear for most of Vanderburgh County now. Basically, anybody south of about Boonville New Harmony Road, everything has now lifted to the north. If you are along Interstate 64 or north of that area, we still have a tornado warning for Gibson County that includes Princeton, Fort Branch, Hobsod, and then over
It just
toward
went from
Francisco
confirmed to
and Oakland
radar
City,
indicated.
Mackey, and
Just went
Buckskin
from
here
purple to red.
as that storm continues to lift to the north. One thing I want to mention again, we're very close in on the radar, so the information that we're showing you here is about as good as it gets with regard to radar coverage, and the winds as they pass the radar may be a little difficult to figure out here, but we are still looking at a damaging wind threat across Gibson and Pike County now into the early part of the afternoon here. Let's do a quick update on the warning status here. So our tornado warning in northern Vanderburgh County will continue until 1:30, so about 40 more minutes on that. And then back here to the east, we have a broad swath of severe thunderstorm warnings in effect, and those are going to continue on into the afternoon as well. At 1 o'clock there for the Owensboro area where that storm is coming through. And then farther over, and you see the stripes in here, this shows that winds could be in excess of 80 miles per hour. Caroline Clapp has some new information, now some new video, it looks like, from Kentucky. Caroline, what do you have?
Yeah, Jeff, this is in from Jasmine in Hanson, Kentucky, so thanks for sending that in. But she looks like she came across a semi flipped over. So in this photo here, you can see in the right-hand corner of the screen of a semi flipped over in the road. So again, these storms are creating very dangerous driving conditions, so something to be aware of. Wanted to show you one more. We've been getting several images of trees down. This was sent to us by Brianna. She didn't say where this was taken. And then we have another significant tree down here in Nortonville, Kentucky. So this is in Hopkins County in the last 23 minutes. Melissa sent this one in for us.
Okay, thanks, Caroline. And of course, more reports will be coming in. We have the 14 First Alert Interceptor with Jordan Yaney out in a safe location now behind the storms, assessing damage and so forth. And the line of storms is still kind of arching to the north. We are clear, so once that band lifts out of the tri-state, we will be done with this event, but we still have about another hour to go of some dangerous weather in the northeastern corner of the tri-state. So we're going to switch it over here and show you a couple of images there from the north. And we still have a tornado warning for radar indicated over Gibson County. Vanderburgh County is in the clear for all practical purposes right now. We still have a couple of kind of hanging over plays here, but the weather has cleared out, so a lot of the schools have been asking. That's what the last text was. So the schools in Vanderburgh County, I can tell you that the storms have moved out of Vanderburgh County. You are safe now to come out of your shelters. Gibson County, you need to stay put. Warwick County, Newburgh is okay, Boonville okay, but then to the northeast there, more toward Tennyson and then into Gentryville and places like that, over in Spencer County, you still have the storms coming your way, so you need to be in shelter. A couple of interesting things here popping out on the radar right now. One is out here to the south of Fort Branch, and again, because of the closeness of the radar, this is hard to see, but that could be a very small circulation there between Hobstadt and Fort Branch, out along Coal Mine Road or near it. That would be, we'll check the wind velocities on that, but again, because we are so close in on the radar, that may not be the very best accuracy because it is so close. But anyway, we're seeing a circulation there. I'm going to clear that off, and again, just point out, we've got an elementary school there at Fort Branch. You have Holy Cross is up there, the school, and then of course you have Hobstadt Community School, St. Peter and Paul, and St. James there to the south. All these schools still need to be locked down there in your severe weather stance until we give you the all clear. All right, we have new information from Arden Gregory. Go ahead, Arden.
Yeah, I'm still just watching the reports coming in now from places like Evansville where these storms just moved through. Sergeant Todd Ringel with Indiana State Police just tweeted out that a tree has fallen over US 41 northbound south of Englefield Road. So just be aware as folks are now, getting into the all clear, starting to come out of their safe space in some areas. As you're hitting the roadways, the flooding is still ongoing from the rain we had earlier this morning, but now we are seeing a lot of wind damage. And just one report there from Sergeant Todd Ringel, a tree has fallen over US 41 northbound just south of Englefield Road. So if you're going to be in that area, use a lot of caution.
Okay, thanks, Arden, for the update. Let's go back out to our home view and kind of reset here. We're looking at wind data right now, and for all clear, Posey County is all clear. There's no more wind coming your way, no more severe wind coming in. Vanderburgh County is in the clear, Henderson County in the clear, western Davis County, so west of Frederica, 231 would be in the clear. And I'm not going to make a call yet on Warwick County or Pike. Obviously, we still have severe weather yet to move in, and we have warnings in effect. We should see a number of these drop off the map here at 1 o'clock. If you look at the radar on your app, then you're used to seeing it this way, which is what we call reflectivity. It shows the heaviest rainfall. But what we're worried about today is wind, right? We've had not only just straight line winds that have caused damage, but possible spin-up tornadoes in here as well. And we had one earlier today, perhaps out in German Township there around St. Joe in the county. St. Paul's Church there along Cynthiana Road as you go out, and then up into St. Wendell and possibly into the northern edge of the county. So, these are the kind of things that can happen very quickly and come and go before the radar can even see them in some cases. Our strongest winds now with these storms are kind of in a line, and that would go from central Spencer County here and then back toward Elberfeld, Linville, still showing some gusty winds at this time, but not nearly as strong as they were. Of course, we've had strong winds pretty much off and on all day. They may get stronger this afternoon, so more power outages possible. Caroline Clapp has an update now on that situation.
Yeah, Jeff, the last time I showed you this map, we were at about 3,000 customers without power for CenterPoint. Well, that number has now doubled. There are now more than 6,285 customers without power for CenterPoint Energy. And as you can see, let me zoom in the area. This is a pretty widespread area, but we're seeing those near Mount Vernon, Evansville, and near Fort Bragg. So very widespread area.
Okay, and obviously if your power is off, hopefully you're listening to us either on our radio partners, 104 FM WIKY, or our Western Kentucky radio partners there, WFMW, WKTG, and the Cromwell Group. But Wiki is our primary station here for Southwest Indiana. You can pick us up pretty easily there, so you can listen in your car or wherever you happen to be, and we will continue to simulcast there, certainly as long as we have a tornado warning in effect. We've also been showing you a lot of your pictures and reports here, and Caroline is looking at our, basically it all comes into one spot and she can look through very quickly. So you can either scroll to the bottom of the app and submit your report that way, and Caroline will tell you again how to do it on the actual 14news.com webpage. I don't have that graphic loaded in here right now, so I can't show it to you, but it's pretty simple. If you go onto our 14news.com page, it's right up there at the top, and to the left you'll see a place where you can submit. Arden Gregory has some more information right now. Arden.
Yeah, I know that Caroline right now is working to get some other photos that we've received via email pulled up. That takes a little more time, which is part of why we're encouraging you to really use the website or the app. That's the easiest way for us to access those photos. But we are getting some other pictures, and one that just came in that we're working to get pulled up for you so that you can see it. We just don't have it just yet. Is of a church, St. Joe Church at St. Joe Road and St. Wendell Road on the west side. The roof of that church is completely gone, Jeff. We just received that picture. So certainly a history of damage with these storms. No doubt.
And that is, if that's the Catholic Church there, that is a historic church, very old church. Remember, we were showing you earlier that very intense wind there coming up toward that intersection. I think we even mentioned St. Joe in the county, school and church. That's sad to hear. There are a lot of stories that we will probably hear like that as we go through the afternoon here, and we can kind of survey what's actually happened around the area. But the main emphasis now is for our counties that are still in harm's way. And right now, that is Pike County there to the north, and then with the tornado warning, that tornado warning will stay on here, I believe, until at 1:30. Actually, it may clear a little early. Now we have pictures from, oh, that's really something. Okay, we're going to go back over to Caroline Clapp now in St. Joe in the county. Go ahead.
Yeah, this is the photo of Jeff that Arden was just talking about. You can see here that
we're going to come back to you in just a second. We got to get that queued up here. We're trying to get the picture for you, and just let me know when we're ready to go back over there. We have everything basically to our east now. If you're in Dale, down here in Holland, and then back across all of Pike County, these storms are moving your way with damaging wind gusts. And then to the south, we still have warnings here that are going to clear at 1 o'clock. And by the way, the winds are going to pick up behind this thing. They're not tornado winds, but they're the winds filling in that low pressure that triggered all this. They will be out of the west and the north and may reach 40 to 50 miles per hour. So if there's any damage that happened this afternoon, those winds could finish it off pretty quickly. Now we're going to go over to Caroline Clapp with some pictures there from St. Joe in the county. Caroline.
Yeah, Jeff, this is on St. Joe and Wendell Road. This is the church Arden was just talking about. But you can see here, the roof is completely off of this church. So very tragic to see this. We're getting those damage pictures starting to flood in. Jeff mentioned, I want to tell you real quick how to do that. So go to 14news.com and you can go under send us your photos and videos. It's about the third option down on the menu tab. But we want to head back out to Jordan Yaney in the field for us. He's on Red Bank Road with some more damage to show us.
Yeah, Caroline, we were actually trying to head out to Casson. We spoke to someone who said that there was some damage out there, so we're trying to go check that out. We are on Red Bank Road, just north of Upper Mount Vernon, and we came across this. So we're going to have to find an alternative route. Our producer tells us that we might have seen this in a picture, but this tree is blown over right at the trunk where it meets the ground, and it is completely covering the road. It's also a little bit on a power line up here. Could be something to do with those power outages, but we are trying to make our way to Casson right now. We're hearing that there could be some damage there.
All right, Jordan, thank you. Let's head things back over to Jeff.
Okay, Caroline. And as we come back here, kind of a reset. Vanderburgh County completely in the clear now. Posey County, you are in the clear. Most of Western Kentucky cleared of all tornado warnings here. The only counties remaining with weather to move through are Hancock and Eastern Ohio in Western Kentucky. And then across Southwest Indiana, we still have about another half hour, 40 minutes to go here for Pike County, and then over into Du Bois County, and then Knox, Davies, and Martin as the storms lift out to the north. The tornado warning there that is blinking on the screen right now is an old one. That one will probably be whittled down a little bit here, but it does go until 1:30, and that is for the area there out to basically north along I-69. So Winslow, Petersburg are going to get in on some of those winds here momentarily. The wind is not showing up as intensely as it was just a few minutes ago. Not sure what's up with that. Let's zoom out just a little, look at the pattern. We definitely have a gust front or strong winds here just to the west of Dale. So that'd be around Tennyson and then Dale in Spencer County. And those are all moving, they're kind of expanding out to the north. There, the tornado warning just dropped off. So this has weakened a little, at least the tornado part is weakened, but still we have just straight line winds here that are going to be creating some damage potentially as we go into the evening hours. And I think, okay, we don't have, I thought we had something over there. We will in just a second. Just if you've been watching us here over the last hour or so, these storms were pretty well forecast a couple days ago, at least this scenario, not specific storms. But the low pressure that's generating all this is historically low. So anytime you get an extreme event like that, you're going to expect extreme weather just about every time. So just to do a quick recap on what warnings are still alive right now, we're going to look at those, and they are all severe thunderstorm warnings now. Now, typically, we would come on the air sometimes for a severe thunderstorm warning. Kind of depends on what it is, if it's hail versus wind. Today, we're going to stay with you with the wall-to-wall coverage. Obviously, we have a high-impact event, a lot of damage around the area, and this is the information you need to be seeing and paying attention to. We're going to go over to Caroline Clapp is ready now. She's been looking through a ton of information, and thank you for sending your pictures. Do it when it's safe to do so, because that helps us to help you and to tell the full weather story. Caroline, what do you have now?
Yeah, Jeff, this picture just in about 33 minutes ago from Carol. This is in Dixon, Kentucky. You can see that the wind is causing some damage to her home with some sidings tripping away there. You can see here some more damage on the ground. And we have been getting pictures flooding in as well of trees being uprooted. This one is from Nebo, Kentucky in the last 40 minutes from Christian. We have this tree down here on North Red Bank Road. Now this is the tree Jordan Yaney was just talking about that caused him to have to be rerouted. Dave sent us that photo in. Another tree over in Nebo, Kentucky. And then this one is a Ring doorbell video sent to us from Noel. I'm going to press play on this, and I want you to click carefully because you can see the tree actually come down in the video. So it's taking a moment to buffer here, but take a look here. You're going to see the tree fall down in the background right there. There it goes down. That one is on Lewis and Walnut in Evansville. So Evansville is getting some trees knocked down here as well. Let's toss things back over to Arden.
All right, thank you, Caroline. And here's another look at that church that we were talking about earlier. Byron Douglas and I were just discussing this moments ago that that does to us indicate that this was likely more than just straight line wind damage. We did have a confirmed tornado in the area west of Evansville, so you know, it's possible. Obviously, we can't say for sure without an official storm survey from the National Weather Service, but that does look like more than just straight line wind damage to me. So certainly something we'll be watching. And something else I wanted to mention is that even as these storms move through, there's still a high wind warning in effect for most of the tri-state until 9 o'clock tonight. So even after this line of storms moves through, be on the lookout for that there may be some trees and power lines and things like that that were perhaps weakened by the storm that we could still see come down over the next few hours, as there is still that high wind warning in effect even after these storms move out, that continues through this evening. So wind damage will remain a concern even for the next few hours after the storms have moved out. I'll send it back over to Jeff Line.
All right, and Arden, right now we're hearing the wind here at the station, and it's kind of counterintuitive because while we've had tornado warnings and severe thunderstorm warnings today, the winds that we are going to get just from the low pressure could exceed that across the area. So it's going to be quite windy this afternoon. I know everybody's nerves are already frayed from severe weather anyway, but the wind that's coming in now will be very intense for the next several hours, even behind the storm. So even though we're giving you the all clear from severe weather, and we define severe weather as like tornado, severe thunderstorm, damaging wind type thing, we're still just going to have straight winds coming in here for several hours. Caroline, now it looks like you're in Kentucky, and what are you seeing over there?
Yeah, this photo comes to us out of Ohio County. Janet sent this in. This is in Hartford. You can see a tree has fallen on top of their home here. So clearly a scary situation to be inside your home and have a tree fall on you. I know that is a very loud sound. But yeah, this one is Justin Jeff out of Hartford, Kentucky.
All right, Caroline, our current severe thunderstorm warning here is going to clear in about 6 minutes. And then we have additional warnings out just to the northeast. And so now is the time that we start getting Du Bois County in there, Perry County, basically out to the west. And you'll notice here there are moving stripes in our warning display. That indicates high-end wind damage possible. Remember, the winds are already blowing at about 40 to 45, so it doesn't take much for these thunderstorms to step it up a little bit more as they continue to move to the northeast. And we're going to look at two different radars. Right now I'm looking using the radar from Louisville, and this is Spencer County out around Holiday World, and we're showing winds there off the deck at about 30 to 40 with these thunderstorms. And then a little farther down here, or farther up into Du Bois County, the winds not looking as impressive from the Louisville radar. Doesn't mean they're not dangerous, and the severe thunderstorm warning is in place because what we've seen today is there are extreme winds aloft, and if these can get drawn down just a little bit by the storms, and then you get little areas where you have damage and possible tornadoes. A lot of tree damage out there as well, and as Arden mentioned, some of these trees that were kind of halfway down may come on down with the winds here this evening. Let's go back to Caroline first with more pictures there from you. Go ahead, Caroline.
Yeah, Jeff, this photo is to us from Hutter Cobb and Nebo, Kentucky. So another tree on a home here. You can see by the roots here, this is a very large tree and has caused significant roof damage, again, out of Nebo, Kentucky. So thank you so much for sending those in. Again, it's very easy to do so. Go to 14news.com, click on our menu, and then there is an option to send us your videos there.
Thanks, Caroline. We're going to go back over to Arden. This is something we don't see here in the tri-state very often, but we have had 9 wind advisories this year alone, which is probably a record in and of itself. A lot of windy days, and our mute.
Yeah, that's right, Jeff. So already we've had a lot of windy days. We're no stranger to wind advisories at this point, but we actually have a high wind warning in effect for most of the tri-state until 9 o'clock tonight. And I just want to show you just a quick look at some of the winds to give you some idea. These are areas where the storms have already moved through, and we're now on the back side where we're seeing the winds just from that low pressure system. And notice across portions of western Kentucky, we're still seeing winds upwards of 30 or 40 miles an hour, and those are the sustained winds. When I pull up the gusts, you can see we're still seeing gusts 50, even 60 miles an hour in some locations. So again, although the thunderstorm threat is working its way off the northeastern end of the tri-state now, I do want to reiterate that it's still going to be very windy even through this afternoon. And just because the storms have already moved through your area does not necessarily mean that you couldn't see additional wind damage as we go through the rest of the day today, Jeff.
Okay, and that's all important information there, Arden, that, you know, and we can't really show you just straight up wind unless it's being blowing rain around on the radar. So the wind might become quite concerning. We have a new tornado warning. It would not surprising here given the environment that we're in, and it does include, it looks like, areas south of Jasper here. So Huntingburg, Dale, and down into northern Perry County. That tornado warning just came here just while I was talking, and it will go this afternoon until 2:45 Eastern or 1:45 Central Time. That tornado warning is for eastern Du Bois County and also northern Perry County. Does not include Spencer. It's kind of anticipating that line moving in. The area most likely, there's actually a kind of a significant, what we would call a couplet, right? Well, it was showing there. I guess it depends on which radar we're looking at. Now, let me try to get a better shot of that if we can. And we will, there you go, right in there. So right in this area, this would be south of Huntingburg, between Huntingburg and the Dale exit there on Interstate 64. Possible rotation right in here. You see the red and the green, and that would be moving through Huntingburg, and then Celestine, maybe the east side of Jasper there. As we saw with the storm there in Vanderburgh County, it can happen very quickly, and with the strong winds at the surface, this is going at like 70 miles an hour. So really, the best way to track that is just to say a mile a minute. So in about 10 to 12 minutes, it will be all the way up in the northern edge of, or near the northern edge of Du Bois County there, near Celestine, and then Cusco a little later on. If you're in those areas, there's Snellville Road, to give you an example. Birdseye would be right down in here. But anybody in southern Du Bois County, you need to be in shelter immediately, as this is a tornado warning. As far as Perry County is concerned, some of this is in the Hoosier National Forest, but we also have areas like St. Croix, St. Meinrad would be right here. It actually would be down this way across northern Perry County. So please, those areas you need to be sheltering now too. And we had an additional severe thunderstorm warning, but that's going to be out of our area for Breckenridge and eastern Hancock County. All right, we're going to go over to Caroline. New information now over at the wall. What do you have, Caroline?
Yeah, Jeff, Dan Rowe sent us this photo from Owensboro, Kentucky. This is on Todd Bridge Road. Take a look at this. This barn is completely flattened. He sent us two different photos. This one here gives you a better picture of just complete remains of this barn, completely flattened by these winds. I want to show you one more video actually of that church we were talking about. Now, you can see there are lots of students. Here is Ivy Tech students taking shelter, more down trees, and then we have a video of the church that we talked about that had the roof blown off. Someone was driving by that. I'm trying to pull this up here. These are constantly updating. Thanks to you guys for sending these in. Here's that video. So this is someone driving by the church on St. Wendell, and as you can see, I mean, it's complete. That roof is completely torn off there. Back to you, Jeff.
Okay, Caroline, and of course we had a school full of kids there too, about I think 200-300 kids at St. Joe in the county Catholic school, so hopefully school was not touched. As far as the warnings are concerned, they're now starting to trickle out into the far reaches there out of our viewing area. So our plan here, we're going to stay with you at least until that tornado warning clears, which I think was at 1:30. And then depending on what kind of information is coming in here now, we will return you to programming. Our goal will be around 1:30 or 1:45, so we can kind of reset here, pick up all the pieces, and then put a story together for you at 4, 5, and 6. The main thing now, though, is with the strong winds coming in behind what's already happened today, you need to be mindful of that if you're out driving around, because there could be debris and stuff on the roads that you're not anticipating. We have a high wind warning too, which rarely happens here, except for this year. We've had a number of wind advisories and warnings so far this year. Okay, our tornado warning is for Du Bois County, and as Byron mentioned, here out around 162, and then State Road 64 there across southern Du Bois County. Lots of folks working out there as well. These storms are moving to the northeast and should be out of Du Bois County here in about the next 15 to 20 minutes. They're moving so fast, there really isn't much time to process. It just comes and goes very quickly. We will do a storm track for you here, though. Let's start with it in the live position there, and then I'm going to track just from where I'm seeing the strongest winds right now. And as we go out here at about 55 to 60, you see Celestine there at 224, about 5 to 7 minutes from now. French Lick, which would be out of our viewing area there, Orange County, 239, and Bacon, never heard of that one, 242, but out of the range. And then a little farther to the east of that one, again, we'll make that cone the right size there, and there you have Cusco at 229, French Lick again, and Orangeville. And across northern Perry County, the areas here at greatest risk are going to be Oil at 126, Sterling at 234, and then Carefree Southeast Paoli, again, out of our viewing area. All right, we're going to go back over. We have Byron and Caroline over at our analysis wall, and what are we seeing now?
Yeah, Jeff, this photo sent into us by Chris and Tracy Jenkins in the last 25 minutes, a semi off the road here. This is at 69 South at exit 18.
Yeah, 18, that's not too far from, boy, that's why we talk about, like, that looks like Interstate 64. Roads during severe weather are not safe places. We hope the truck driver is all right. So this was, of course, with those tornado warnings that we're going through. Vanderbilt County had a severe thunderstorm warning. We were just talking about on Facebook. We had about 60 miles worth of roads there on Interstate 64. These are just not safe places. Looks like everyone's all right there, but that's just what these winds can do. It's caused by the winds and these tornadic winds, and of course we've seen that out there at St. Joe. So, and then we're seeing some tree damage here, Caroline, up in Henderson.
Yeah, this is the third or fourth home we've gotten now with trees falling on the roof. You can see there's pretty big damage to their back deck as well. And this one is sent to us by Greg Thomas in Henderson, Kentucky, Jeff.
Okay, and again, we're just kind of waiting out this tornado warning here, and for the line of damaging winds to move out of the 14 News viewing area, which would be out of Du Bois County to the northeast and out of Perry County. We're already clear in all of our western Kentucky counties now, so we're just kind of concentrated here on the northeastern corner of the tri-state for about another 15 to 20 minutes as these things rapidly move to the northeast. And we've been showing a lot of your pictures today on the air. We appreciate you sending in reports and pictures and video when it's safe to do so. That helps us to kind of figure out, and some of this information we will share with the National Weather Service as they come out and kind of do their damage assessment. The church that you saw there, St. Joe in the County Catholic Church, right across from the St. Joe Inn there's kind of a little area, very old church, and that really shows, though, the power of some of these storms. They can kick up and produce damage with very short notice. We have more pictures of damage from around the area now with Byron and Caroline. Go ahead.
Yeah, Jeff, of course, during a tornado, a trailer is not a safe place to be, and this photo is evidence of that, right, Byron?
Yeah, and we emphasize manufactured homes are not safe places, and you see the insulation here. And as we understand it, hopefully everybody is all right there, but we're seeing a lot of damage that once the National Weather Service goes out and surveys, they're indicating we're seeing tornado-like damage overall. But keep in mind, we have these high wind warnings now, so the worst isn't over. Of course, Jeff's been tracking that tornado warning up towards Ferdinand. We're trying to verify there, but you need to stay in your tornado-safe shelter.
This was taken in Seabury, Kentucky as well. Back to you, Jeff.
Okay, thanks a lot, Byron and Caroline. Byron working a long day today, and we have a little bit longer to go here with this tornado warning in Du Bois County. Let's zoom in first of all on the areas that are at greatest risk here, and just to give you the update here, that warning is going to go until 2:45, which would be 1:45 Central Time there for the eastern corner of Du Bois County. It does include Ferdinand, Birdseye, and then right up 162 there in the eastern part of the county. And also just a little sliver here, mainly the Hoosier National Forest, but also St. Meinrad, St. Croix are right up here along State Road 62 there in northern Perry County. So if you're in those areas, that's who the warning is for, although most of that wind has started to lift north of I-64. So we just